You're listening to People Fixing the World from the BBC World Service, and today we're looking at projects that are helping people tap into the power of reading. Now, we've just heard how women who've been affected by flooding in Bangladesh are being taught how to read and how that's improving their lives. And our next solution takes us to a different continent, Africa, and specifically to Somaliland in East Africa, a breakaway state from Somalia that's officially unrecognized by the international community.
The challenge we face in the Horn of Africa is that the literacy levels are one of the lowest in the world. We have a highly mobile population and absence of schools in rural areas.
That's British Somali businessman Ismail Ahmed. A few years ago, he launched the Samir Foundation, which means Pathfinder. The foundation is trying to improve literacy levels in the Horn of Africa, and their first project was developing a free language app called Daris.
The first stage is about the alphabet, the basics, and then the second stage takes users to read, the basic stories. And the third stage is a digital library to read longer stories. We've also added a reading meter, which forces users to speed up the reading. And that is the one which really helps them to achieve 60 words per minute.
شمبر رح صع طمير.
Now, I've actually tried the app, and it's simple. It uses repetition and games to build up basic reading skills in the Somali language. And what's also helpful is that it can be used offline, as internet access can be patchy there. Now, Claire is still here with me. And Claire, you spoke to some people who are using the app to learn how to read. Tell us about that.
Sure. So the foundation put me in touch with some female market traders in Hargeisa, the capital of Somaliland. And they had been given phones preloaded with the app to see how easy or hard they found using it.
So this was like a focus group.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay,
They wanted to test it out, basically.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
One of the women, Samir, told me about her experience.
I
didn't get the chance to study. I'm from a generation where it was believed that young girls should stay at home and do house chores. I heard about the app a few months ago. I heard that it helps women, especially mothers, learn how to read and write. I have just finished learning how to construct sentences, and now I can completely read. I'm more ambitious now. I feel I can do anything by myself. Wherever I go, I can read and understand the billboards and signs around me by myself.
I also spoke to Keen, a mother and grandmother who runs a fruit and veg stall. She told me she missed out on schooling due to the Civil War.
I've been using the app for 6 months. Now I'm on level 2, which means I can read and write messages on my phone.
Keen says she now enjoys reading lots of stories on the app.
The last one was about a woman called Dugdeer, a woman with long ears who eats other people. It's a Somali folk story, often told by parents to warn their children. Since learning with Daris, I feel I'm out of the darkness and into the light. Education is light, so I feel very happy.
It's interesting, Claire, because I've used apps like Duolingo to just have fun and try and learn new languages. But from the women we've heard from, learning through the app means that they're able to improve their lives, which is really powerful. Now, Claire, I also know that smartphones are widely available in the Horn of Africa, but there's just something that's stuck in my mind, right? How do the people know to download and use the app if they can't even read at all?
Yeah, it seems like a bit of a flaw, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Well, Ishmael says they found that basically those who can read a little bit are then helping those who can't read at all. And the stats for the app are pretty impressive.
So Daris has now helped 500,000 learners. Most of those are people who have started from the alphabet, who've now achieve the basic functional literacy. And about 48% of those are women or girls.
I also like the fact that they can kind of dip in and out of the app when they need to or have time, because you're also talking about people who live a very nomadic lifestyle.
Yeah, and actually, as a nice side note, it's quite a popular app among camel herders, and they actually can earn camel badges on the app when their reading progresses. And it's nice, obviously, because camels are such an important part of Somali culture.
I'd like a camel badge as well. That would make me feel nice. But I mean, back to the solution here. Have they had any challenges?
Yeah, they did have some issues making the app small enough to work offline, but they did manage that in the end with some compression technology.
Okay.
And also, interestingly, they realised the screen was too difficult to read in the strong sunshine in Hargeisa. So they actually needed to change the design with stronger contrast and more vivid colours.
Wow, who'd have thought? I mean, it just goes to show how important it is to make sure that solutions work for the people that you're trying to help.
Yeah, exactly.
So what's next with this?
Well, Ishmael says they're going to continue to improve it, and they'll be expanding the languages. They want to add 11 of the most commonly spoken languages in Africa to the app.
Ah, nice. So maybe some of my Kiswahili will go in there.
Yeah, hopefully.